They raise the flag at morning light, a symbol born of hope and fight. But underneath the silent screams of broken hearts and buried dreams, the anthem plays, the hands are high, but down below the people cry. While marble floors conceal the game of men who learn to steal with fame. Beneath the flag they hide their hands, they sell the soil, they sell the land. The colors wave, but truth won't brag. There's blood and dust beneath the flag. We pledge and pray, we plead and beg, but freedom lives on shattered legs. They speak of pride we never had. There's lies and chains beneath the flag. The papers lie in printed gold, while justice sleeps in silence cold. The suits all smile, the cameras roll, but every pride still leaves a hole. They toast to peace, they drink our fears, they count our wounds, not count our tears. They build their towers in our name, then burn our voice to keep their flame. Beneath the flag they guard the gate, while hunger waits at every plate. They sing of light, but walk through black, and sell our names beneath the flag. A million fists, a whispered spark, will light the sky and leave a mark. No truth can bloom in soil so dragged, not while they rule beneath the flag. What good's a flag without a soul? What good's a vote they've long controlled? The ink has dried, the books are torn, but still we rise though we were warned. Beneath the flag we plant our cries, refuse to kneel beneath their lies. We may be small, we may be cracked, but we still march beneath the flag. And if they burn what we believe, we'll carve the truth on every street, until no thief can ever drag their crown again beneath the flag. Walk the halls with polished shoes, malpractice lies on morning news. With every word they twist the air, behind their desks they do not care. The world they build is not for us, it's golden glass and built on dust. Their pens are sharp, their tears are deep, while widows break and orphans weep. Dirty hands in clean suits, shaking hands and stealing roots, signing laws with poisoned ink, smiling while the cities sing. They toast to peace, but war's the game. No fingerprints, but blood remains underneath their tailored truths, like dirty hands in clean suits. Their words are silk, but hearts are lead. They kiss the poor, then raise the dead. A photo flash, a hollow speech, while justice stays just out of reach. They draw the maps, they shift the lines, then sell the air, the seas, the mines. They claim to serve, they claim to care, but count their wealth while we gasp for air. Dirty hands in clean suits, behind the thrones in marble loops, paper crowns and secret vaults. They built their walls on our faults. A nation cries, a promise dies, while they rehearse their alibis. The truth is buried under boots of dirty hands in clean suits. words are silk, but hearts are lead. They kiss the poor, then raise the dead. A photo flash, a hollow speech, while justice stays just out of reach. Their words are silk, but hearts are lead. Their words are silk, but hearts are lead. They kiss the poor, their hearts are lead. They kiss the poor, then raise the dead. Their words are silk, but hearts are lead. They kiss the poor, then raise the dead. A photo flare, they twist the air. Behind, they twist the I don't care. Dirty hands and clean suits. I want you want good dude for you everybody. They won't break the chain. Their words will break the chain. But one day soon the masks will fall, and silence won't protect them all. We'll name the ones who pulled the noose with dirty hands in clean suits. On hills of gold, they built death row. With silver tongues and hearts of stone. Each break the lane of our betrayed. Each window frame to block the shade. They wore the crown with precious grace. With never dared to show their face. The truth was locked in dungeon deep, while we were sold the dream of sleep. In a palace made of lies, where truth was just a thin disguise. They danced in halls of smoke and glass, and watched the fire from the past. But cracks are growing through the walls, and silence echoes in the halls. What's built on fear will never rise in a palace made of lies. They promised light, delivered dust. Taught us to kneel, forgot to trust. The louder we begged, the more they smiled. Then blamed the fire on the child. Their words were cold, their hearts were rust. Their loyalty bought their honor crust. And every mirror in their court reflected mass and false reports. In a palace made of lies, where no one hears the people's cries. They painted peace with shades of shame, and carved a loss into their name. But wind is howling through the gates, and time is done with playing fate. The emperor shakes, the serpent dies, in a palace made of lies. Shut down the banners, burn the script. Let truth return from where it slipped. No throne can stand, no king can reign, when built on bones and silent pain. In a palace made of lies, the stars have faded from the skies. The walls collapse, the night reveals the cost of all their hidden deals. But from the ash, a voice will rise. We won't be fooled by shining eyes. Let justice reign where shadow dies, locked in a palace made of lies. What in a palace, like of the dust, taught us to kneel, forgot to trust. The louder we begged, the more they smiled, then blamed the fire on the child. Their words were gold, their hearts were rust. Their loyalty bought, their honor crushed. And every mirror in their court reflected massive false reports. In a palace made of lies, where no one hears the people's cries. They painted peace with shades of shame, and carved a loss into their name. across the flame. No names were asked, no one to blame. A whisper traded for a grin, another truth thrown in the bin. The voices dim behind the gate, as silver waved the hands of fate. What cost us peace when bought with shame, when justice bends to hide a name. Coins for silence, bought and sold. The brave go quiet, the frightened fold. A golden hush in dirty hands that bury screams beneath the land. No need for chains, no need for walls, just silver tongues in sacred halls. They built a throne on broken license, paid in full with coins for silence. But not for all. Some crimes still dance in gilded halls. The loudest crimes were quiet shoes, and truth is something they can choose. They said forget for your own good, while carving peace in blood and wood. The grand tribal deals were made, and every doubt was gently paid. Coins for silence, pure and cold. No headlines, no stories told, just heavy pockets, shifting eyes, a secret sung in lullabies. The louder hearts are swept aside, while weaker wills are paid to hide. Be paid away without compliance, their lullaby, coins for silence. Tear the veil, and rust will bleed from every nail. The silent lips will learn to speak, and crack the walls the cowards seek. Coins for silence can outlast the storm that's rising from the past. No coin can hold a voice too long, no hush can kill a rebel song. So let them count and let them fall, we'll raise the names they try to stall. Their empire ends in broken silence, not bought again by coins for silence. In gold, he moves in fire. He builds his throne with quiet wire. A crown unseen, a silent tower. Behold the rise of the Prince of Power. He walks through marble, silk and dust. With every eye, he builds your trust. His voice is sweet, his words are flame, but underneath, no soul, no shame. With charm, he smiles through storms. In velvet hands, he hides the thorns. A master of the masquerade. He never asks, he just persuades. He is the Prince of Power. Fortune lies in lightning, climbing higher every hour while the sky is tightening. He holds the keys, he writes the law, then breaks it when no one's in awe. He doesn't rule, he devours. Bow down to the Prince of Power. He claims to save, but never bleeds. He plans control and calls it seeds. He drinks the tears, ignores the cries, and feeds the fire with alibis. He writes the books that hide the proof. He builds a cage and calls it truth. But when the mirrors start to crack, he turns the sun and paints it black. He is the prince of power, drinking charm and shadow. A trade your voice for golden towers and rule from smoke the windows. He speaks of peace while forging chains and drowns the world in sugar rains. Cause through a cursing for flower, all hail the prince of power. He was not born, he was designed, a weapon wrapped in suits and wine. But power burns what it adores, and kings fall hardest from their thrones. He was the prince of power, a god of silence and spin. But now the flames devour the mask that held the devil in. No crown can save, no fear can last. When truth breaks through the gilded glass, the storm rise, the tyrants cower. Here ends the reign of the prince of power. They said our voices shake the dawn, but by the dusk our rights were gone. Balance lost in rivers wide, while little cities begin to collide. They built their mansions full of trust and fed their private dreams and dust, and watched them rise from smoke and gold, while streets below were cracked and cold. Stolen books, stolen homes, we scream but they sit on their thrones. Feasting high while we survive, counting pain to stay alive. The promises of turned to stones in silence bought by greed and oaths. They want the crown with broken hopes for stolen votes and golden homes. The ink we used became a shield. Our hope was plowed into their field. The flags that wave but not for us, just for the men they'll never trust. Behind the mansions full of trust and fed their private dreams and dust. We watched them rise through smoke and gold, while streets below were cracked and cold. Stolen votes, golden homes, we scream but they sit on their thrones. Feasting high while we survive, counting pain to stay alive. The promises are turned to stolen votes, golden homes, we scream but they sit on their thrones. Feasting high while we survive, counting pain to stay alive. Look up and spoons and crystal wine. They toast their lies, we toe the line. A banquet built on borrowed breath. We count the cost, they drink to death. Behind tall gates and velvet floors, they dine while closing all our doors. Their laughter drowns our battle cries, while hunger paints our lullabies. They eat while we bleed, they plant their wealth and we pull the weed. They rise on backs they'll never see, and chain our dreams to apathy. They feast on gold we'll never hold. Their hearts are fat, their hands are cold. They eat when we bleed, and call it peace and call it mead. We build the roads, they ride in style. We sweat beneath their marble tile. They watch the world from towers high, and never hear the lovers cry. Our rusted bowls, their silver trays, they sleep in light, we count the days. But justice isn't born in sleep, it stirs in silence, dark and deep. They eat while we bleed, their hunger fed by silent greed. Their comfort built on broken bones, their silence fought with ringing bones. They write the rules, we break the stone. They sit on lies, we die alone. They eat while we bleed, but storms are born from buried seed. You can't contain the rust that rises through the chain. You fed too long, you'll feel the heat. The day we starve is when we eat. They eat when we bleed, but time will turn and hunger leads. We'll take back every stolen crumb with fists that rise and drums that drum. You built a world with stolen thread, but we'll go knocking cold and red. They eat when we bleed, but not when we no longer plead. She held are tipped in gold. Her blindfold slipped, her soul was sold. She used to walk the halls of right, now she dances in the lobby light. A whisper here, a handshake there, and justice fades into the air. Bribe justice, blood and bride. Truth is lost and laws unwind. Silver tongues and paper fists have turned the court chasing codes and legal ties, but we know gold still testifies. Bribe justice, dressed in pride, but truth can't hide where ghosts reside. You can buy your silence now, but thunder waits beneath the vow. One day flames will crack a road, and every debt will be atoned. Bribe justice, enjoy your reign, till judgment comes not bound in chains. Smoke. Behind the curtain of smoke, they rewrite the rules they then once broke. With pretty words and poison hands, they paint the sky and still let me chase the mirrors, breathe the air while they pretend that they still care. Behind the curtain of smoke, they laugh while we choke. They sell us fear in golden frames, call us rebels, give us names. But every mask they choose to wear can't hide the rot that's underneath there. We see the light but not the flame, we hear their speech but not their shame. We hear their speech, the clock to fight. We hear their speech but not while we choke. They sell us fear in golden flames, call us rebels, give us names. But every mask they choose to wear can't hide the rot that's underneath there. The news they feed, the truth they burn, the justice right at every turn. We're told to bow, not to provoke, but there's fire behind the curtain, a curtain of smoke. Behind the curtain of smoke. The kings play chess with broken hope. We kneel for peace, they vote for war. They lock the cage, then build a floor. The stages with their hands are clean, but we still bleed behind the screen. Behind the curtain of smoke, the kings play chess with broken hope. We kneel for peace, they vote for war. They lock the cage, then build a floor. The stages with their hands are clean, but we still bleed behind the screen. Behind the curtain of smoke, is the lie they spoke. They sell us folk. They said don't question what you see, but silence won't set anyone free. The truth is quiet but it grows. In every crack, the light still shows. Behind the curtain of smoke, we rise, we scream, we cut the yoke. No more shadows, no more play. The cloud has turned, the axe won't stay. They built their kingdom on our knees, but truth will burn through every street. Behind the curtain of smoke, we finally spoke. knives. Rivers run dry, but greed once stood, and dreams of trading for columns of wood. Flags still wave, but they don't mean much when freedom sold for a minister's touch. They paid the truth in gold and steel. Now nothing's left we're allowed to feel. It's a nation on sale, where the highest bid writes the tale. They auction hearts, they lease the skies, while we pay the price for their lies. It's a nation betrayed in the name of profit, hope decays. The soil we love now turned to shame, and we cry beneath the acid rain. The voices that roared were silenced fast. The names erased like shadows cast. Justice sleeps behind locked doors, while deals are signed on bloodstained floors. Our children's songs replaced by loans, and history carved in corporate tones. Patriotism sold in ads, while unity is split in halves. It's a nation on sale, where the truth comes sealed in mail. They print the news to hide the sin, and shake hands soaked in what's within. It's a nation in pain, smiling faces hide the stain. We scream in streets, they drink in halls, while silence echoes through our walls. Signing papers without our voice, who turned the people into a choice. They branded hope, they sold the fight, but fire still lives in quiet nights. It's a nation on sale, but not our souls, not what we feel. We'll take the ashes, plant them deep, and rise from truths they tried to keep. A nation may fall, but hearts remain. We are the roots beneath the chain. This nation's not gone, just caught in the storm. The voices that warned were silenced fast. The names erased like shadows cast. Justice sleeps behind locked doors, while deals are signed on bloodstained floors. Our children's songs replaced by loans, and history carved in corporate tones. Patriotism sold in ads, while unity is split in halves. It's a nation in pain by law.